it's time for rapid fire book tag. One take, let's go. First question, ebook or physical book? I would have to say ebook. Ebook just because of the convenience. I don't want to have to order something from Amazon, wait for something to come in a box. What are you going to do with all that waste? Just give me an ebook. You don't have to cut down the trees. Done. Paperback or hardback? Paperback. I don't like the crinkly, crackly breaking of the spine of a hardback. I like hardback on my library shelves. I do not like hardback reading because I just feel so bad when I break them open. No thank you. Next. Online or in-store book shopping? Online, because I can look up reviews. I mean, I love bookstores, don't get me wrong, love bookstores, but I feel awkward standing in a bookstore, like, scrolling through reviews of books. You know, it just feels weird. I like to take my time. I like the atmosphere of a bookstore, though, so I like going to bookstores, but I think if I was going to look for a specific book, I would do it online. Okay, trilogies or series. What does that mean? Trilogies or series? Like, do I want 3 books in a series or more? I want more, obviously. Give me more. If I love a story, and if the story can keep going without it being weird, forced, or fake, keep it going. Give me more. I want more. Wheel of Time, 14 books. Harry Potter, 7 books. Narnia, 7 books? Something like that? Yeah. Love non-trilogies. Also, trilogies are overdone. I feel like sometimes publishers force trilogies when it's like, this should be a duology. So don't limit yourself to just 3 books in a series. If you want to do more, do more. If you want to do less, do less. Just give me a good story. Heroes or villains? I feel like oftentimes heroes can be a little boring and bland, like an insert protagonist that follows the same kind of story beats over and over and over again. I feel like villains oftentimes have the creativity to have a whole range of motivations. So I would say villains, but a good protagonist hero, I'm all for. But I think I would say villains, because they're really interesting. Unless they're cartoonish, in which case I hate cartoonish villains. I just want someone serious with actual motivations. A book you want everyone to read. Off the top of my head, rapid fire. Song of Achilles. I think it's awesome. I love the blend of classical mythology with the kind of like lyrical style written in a way that's not like really, really boring to get through like the Iliad kind of was. Sorry. I thought it was great. Love it. Everyone should read it. Recommend an underrated book. What is an underrated book that I have read? Oh no. Oh no, time's ticking gone. An underrated book. What's an underrated book? Have I even read an underrated? Okay, this is gonna have to be a cut. I don't even. What's an underrated book that I. What does underrated even mean? Recommend an underrated book. I don't really know about underrated. Like, again, I read reviews before I read them. The only thing that really comes to mind quickly is The Bear and the Nightingale. I haven't really seen very many people talk about it. I love it. It's folklore. It's like one of those retellings of folklore kind of thing, but it's set in actual the time period that it's supposed to, like way back. If this one, Russia folktale. So it's Russia centuries and centuries ago, and it's really easy to get through. It's really fun, and I haven't heard many people talk about it. So I would say The Bear and the Nightingale. The last book you finished was literally last night. I finished The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, I think her name is. I'm not quite sure, but this is Rapid Fire Book Tag, so I can't check. Dragon Republic, loved it. Finished it, really sad. Can't wait for the next one to come out this year. The last book you bought, I do not buy books. I rent books through the library. I might make a video about that, but I don't usually buy books. The last book that I did buy was Circe, and I bought Song of Achilles together just because I wanted them physically, because I love them so much. I wanted like an actual copy of them, but that's really rare for me. I don't really buy books. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark? Is this weird? If it's not Kirby, it's probably a game controller. And if it's not a game controller, it might be an amiibo, like those little Switch, little figurine things that you use. You put them on, it's like Kirby or Zelda or Link or whatever, and you put them on, they can go into Smash Bros. And stuff like that. I use those as bookmarks, really just anything I have nearby. TV remote, I've used as a bookmark. Napkin, not used, I've used as a bookmark. Really anything, except I never fold pages, I don't dog ear, like, no. Used books, yes or no? Hell yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, of course I'm going to buy a used book. It's so much cheaper. Why wouldn't I buy a used book? Absolutely. And they're very rarely like ever like highlighted. And if there's a note in them, it's kind of cool. Like from past reader to me reader. What did you value versus what do I value? I kind of like that. Top 3 favorite genres. Off the top of my head, no thinking about it. Fantasy, thriller, mystery, like we just talked about in the last video. Are there others? What are genres? No, I don't like romance. I guess romance. I don't really like romance, but that's what I came up with. No, I'm not gonna say romance. I'm gonna say sci-fi. Sure. Science fiction, fantasy, and thriller. Yeah, that'll be it. I like romance, but not as the main focus of the genre. Borrow or buy? Borrow. Borrow from libraries. You can save so much money by borrowing. Like, just borrow it from your library. If you need to read it again, just borrow it again. Absolutely. Don't buy it. Only if you want, like, to have it forever do you buy it. Or if you think the zombie apocalypse is about to happen. But honestly, if the zombie apocalypse is about to happen, like, just lend it from the library, and then when everything goes to hell, like, what, are the librarians going to come after you and say, excuse me, I know the world just ended, but that book was overdue by 2 months. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Just borrow. Like, do you want to save money or do you not? Like, we live in a world. I don't know what that means. Characters or plot? Characters, 100%. I love plot. I love a finely tuned, organized plot. But if I don't care about the characters, I don't care about your plot, and I don't care what happens. I want to give a crud about the people that I'm following. I want to root for them. I want to cry for them. I want to cuss at them when they mess up. Like, give me good characters. Long or short books? Long books. I'm a fantasy reader. Like, long books every day. Like, when I open an audiobook, I want to see that it's above 30 hours. Like, I want to know this is going to be my week, is this one book. I have trouble with shorter books being like, I start to get into it and then it's over. And I'm like, okay, bye, I guess. Long books, absolutely. Long or short chapters? Long, I guess it doesn't really matter. You just end chapters where the scene ends, and then you just kind of move on. So I guess long chapters, as long as, again, you're not filling them with crap. Just make them long. Name the first 3 books you think of. Dragon Republic, because I was just talking about it. Bear and the Nightingale, because I was just talking about it in Harry Potter. Percy Jackson. Agatha Christie. I don't know. Books that make you laugh or cry. Oh, gosh. Jim Butcher, Dresden Files, those are pretty funny. Books that make me cry, Song of Achilles. I won't tell you why, unless you've read the Iliad. But that was really sad. Our world or fictional worlds. I like my life. So, I mean, I don't really read for escapism that much. But I think fictional worlds are really cool, especially fantasy worlds and sci-fi worlds. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on. Although, I will say, in a lot of fantasy books, it would suck to be a normal person in a fantasy world. Because oftentimes you've got a medieval setting, you don't have very good medicine, you don't have very good plumbing, and, like, yeah, there are really cool people running around with, like, awesome magical powers or whatever, but most of the population doesn't have them. So if I'm just going to be an average Joe Schmo in a world, I'd probably be this world, unless if I was going to a fantasy world, I had the guarantee of being, like, someone special, then we could talk. But if I'm just being an average Joe Schmo, probably here, because I feel like I'm safer and have a higher quality of life. Like, Middle Earth, if you're a random Joe Schmo in Middle Earth, like, what are you doing with your life, you know? Like, no. Audiobooks, yes or no? Hell yes. I love audiobooks. Are you kidding me? Like, absolutely. Give me an audiobook all day, every day. I'm actually listening to one right now. I just finished Dragon Republic, and I just started Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book. Love it. Love audiobooks. Next. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Of course you do. Like, you can't say that you don't. If you say you don't judge a book by a cover, you are lying. That is an immediate human reaction to, sorry, someone keeps calling me, to judge a book by its cover. If that cover is pretty, I will look at it, you know? I will be intrigued by it. I will want to know more. When I was a kid browsing through bookshelves, like, I would look at it, and if I didn't like it, I'd put it right back on. Now that I'm an adult, I look at it. If I don't like the cover, I put it back on. Same thing. Cover art is important. If you are self-publishing, do not skip on your cover art. I'm sorry, I'm really passionate. I'm trying to, like, make this go quickly because it's rapid fire. Okay, yes, that was a cut, but it doesn't count because my camera died. So, next question. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations? I'm assuming you mean, do I like them? I mean, I don't have anything wrong with them. I figure if I love a book, if I see it on the big screen, like, great, I get to see more of it. I guess sometimes it does make me mad. Like, the first thing that comes to mind is Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. Those book-to-movie adaptations were not good. But for the most part, like, great. It brings more public attention to these books, which means more books might get written, and more books like it might get written. So I have nothing against book-to-movie, book-to-TV adaptations. Keep them coming. Sometimes they're done really, really well, like The Magicians. I haven't read the books, love the TV series, might read the books because of the TV series. So yeah, give me more book-to-movie, book-to-TV adaptations. Absolutely. A movie or a TV show you preferred to its book. That's tough. I think The Magicians, because I haven't read the book and I love the TV series. So that's just the first thing that immediately comes to mind without spending any time thinking about it. I'm just going to say The Magicians. If I read the book, then I'll have a more informed answer. But I love that show, and I hear it diverged a lot from the books. And I love that show, except for the season 4 finale, which I won't talk about. I mean, I felt like a lot of things just kind of like didn't live up to my expectations of what was kind of going to happen. So whatever, we'll keep going. Last question on this list is series or standalones. For me, it's a no-brainer, series. I get invested in a character, I get invested in a plot, I get invested in a world, and you're gonna just finish it in one book? Like, no, I need more. Give me more. Especially in my genre. It's very weird to find a fantasy book that's one novel. And I feel like sometimes you spend so much time world building and making all these characters and all these cultures, and then to just only use it for one book, it feels like kind of a waste. So at least in my genre, and for my reading preferences that are kind of formed by my genre, I'm going to say series. Okay, that is the last question for the rapid fire book tag from booktagindex.wordpress.com. Thank you very much to Girl Reading who created this tag, at least on the website, that's what it says. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I think my plumber might be here, so I gotta go. But I hope you all had a fun time with me on the rapid fire book tag with as few takes as possible, except for the one where my camera died. Remember, every day is a gift. I hope that you find something in your day to smile about. Down in the comments, why don't we have a conversation about books that make you cry? Tell me about a book that really jerks those tears out of you. I would love to hear something that elicits more than just a sense of fantasy wonder. Thank you very much for your time. Hope you find something in your day to smile about. I just said that. Bye.